Congressman, first of all, your reaction to this news about China
scary.
getting into the U.S. Treasury Secretary's computer.
It's scary, and you think about the Treasury Secretary of the United States, and it reminded me of one of the lines I saw from the nominee, President Trump's nominee, Mr. Besson, today, when he was talking about China. He said, because I think one of the senators, Democrat senators, talked about that we're in a clean energy race with China. He goes, no, we're in an energy race with China. I mean, here's a guy who focused on the facts. So this is a slightly different area, scary.
No, they're unclassified. I mean, they're unclassified, only 50 documents.
Yeah.
I think American people listen to this. They don't believe any of the specifics about this report. Because if China can get into the computer of the U.S. Treasury Secretary, into our water systems, some of our infrastructure for energy or electricity, what are we doing here? What is this budget paying for? The deep state budget, the military budget? What are we getting for it?
And what are our agencies are supposed to be watching what the Chinese are doing? What are they doing? It seems the FBI is spending more time looking at pro-life Catholics, calling them extremists, investigating moms and dads at school board meetings versus figuring out what China's up to and how they may be impacting our nation. So this is serious, and let's hope we can, with the Trump administration, I think we're going to see something different across the board that's going to be helpful for our country.
Now, I know you love big tech. Like we all love big tech. We like tech when it's helped us in our daily life. But now, the TikTok question is an interesting one. It's very popular among young people. It's also operated for all intents and purposes by China. ByteDance, obviously, is a Chinese affiliated company. So should China be able to retain ownership of TikTok, given what we know are glaring national security problems and propaganda issues with the platform?
Right. I actually voted for the bill. I struggled because
it's a law now. It is a U.S. law.
For the free speech aspect of it, but then also it's China, and we just saw
China. Why does China have free speech rights in the United States?
Exactly. Great point. So I supported.
There is no free speech issue.
I supported the legislation, but I do think the President Trump has taken the right approach. Is there some time frame where we can figure out, is there another owner who can come in and purchase it so it's not owned, the parent company is not some Chinese company? I think that's the right approach.
Yeah, an American company would totally solve the problem, would it not? Yeah. Well, the resistance, by the way, 2.0 is already forming, Congressman, and it's going to be filled with Biden's lackeys. Former Biden-Harris officials will help launch on Inauguration Day a new legal response center to bolster the fight against Trump's impending executive orders. Now, they're gearing up. I know it's easy to see them as defeated, watching Biden last night, and flailing in these confirmation hearings. They're just embarrassed themselves, one after the other. But they have a huge army of lawyers who are going to be descending upon these executive orders one after the other.
Well, and they did it back in 2017 when President Trump started to get control of the border back in 2017. They did the same. Remember the whole kids in cages baloney that they said was President Trump when actually those, quote, cages, which weren't really cages, were from the Obama administration. So they're going to do the same thing when Director Homan, when he starts working on repatriating people back, people who've come here illegally, done crimes, people who've come here illegally, been in front of a judge. The judge has said you don't qualify under our asylum laws. So they're going to challenge those and other executive orders he does. But we just got to keep doing what we told the American people we were going to do. I say all the time, we make this job way too complicated. It's pretty simple. What'd you tell the folks you were going to do when you put your name on the ballot? If you get elected, go do what you said. President Trump is committed to doing that, and so are we in the House of Representatives. So that's how we got to focus.
Politico is reporting that there's all this tension between John Thune in the Senate and Mike Johnson in the House, and saying that this relationship has some big troubles, some big hurdles because of different approaches. Do you see that?
No, I don't. I see that the Republicans the American people on November 5th said we want Republicans staying in charge of the House, we want Republicans running the Senate, and we want Donald Trump in the White House. And we have a mission: secure the border, bring down inflation, put in place those policies on energy, on taxes, on everything else, control spending. That'll help with inflation.
Cut spending, not control. We got to cut spending. We can't just control the growth of spending. I heard, Thune came on the show last week. It was great to have him on. It was a terrific appearance. But we have to control the increase of spending.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's Washington speak. What?
It is Washington speak. But if we could do that, that'd be a huge change for us.
Well, that would be some positive steps for sure.
And frankly, we got to stop the weaponization of these agencies against the American people and the censorship. What we're seeing in that area, what Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and the changes that have been made there. God bless those who've embraced now the First Amendment.
No, Zuckerberg still has to stop demonetizing conservatives over there on Facebook. By the way, would you like my jacket? I was thinking
my wife says pink would be
right. I mean, I think it's time to just update, Congressman. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.